Rich here, and in today's video I'm going to talk you through the top 5 fastest RC cars under $100. Now, I will say every one of the cars that you're going to see in this video, yours truly has owned and put the GPS on to speed test them. So I do know what I'm talking about on there. And they are not the only 5 sub $100 cars I have tested. If you've watched this channel for any length of time, you'll know yours truly has been on a mission for about the past 2-3 years looking for the best sub $100 car out there on the market. A lot of them are very, very disappointing. They claim, say, like 70 kilometers an hour and I think does 50 kilometers an hour, or they claim 36 miles an hour and I think does 21 miles an hour. So there's a lot that I've bought, sold. I've seen the good, the bad, the ugly, but this video is about the good ones. And in this video, the cars are ranked in speed order. And I would say, these are just the top 5 fastest RC cars I have found under $100. If there are others that you think are faster, have your say in the comment section below the video. If you like what you see today, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And I think all of these cars are pretty good ones for shelter in place as well. Now, one last thing I would just say when talking about these top 5 fastest RC cars under $100 is quite a few of them are probably known under other names. All I'm saying in this video is I'm giving you the product names and numbers of the cars that I personally have bought them under. So there may well be others out there. Hope that makes sense. Anyway, let's get straight down to it with car number 1, which is the Q902 from Vanguard. As I say, somebody will probably say that's not the Q902, it's the XYZ from some other manufacturer. I actually rated this as the best RC car under $100 I've ever tested. The thing handles like an absolute dream. And it's quite possibly one of the best shelter in place cars. As you'll see there, it's brushless. It's got enough power to wheelie on the spot in there. Very, very rapid indeed. But just how rapid is it in a straight line? Well, on the Vanguard website, they quote 52 kilometers an hour, which works out as about 32 miles an hour. However, when yours truly tested it, and that's my video right there, I found this little mini brushless monster only peaked out at 21 miles an hour. But it's the speed it gets there. It accelerates up to that 21 miles an hour like an absolute rocket. So what do we get for our money? Well, we get this mini brushless vehicle on here. Now, it's available in 3 different variants. The Q10, the Q901, the Q902 and the Q903. But the Q902 with the larger tyres absolutely dominates over grass compared to the other 2, which is why in my original video I titled it the best RC car for under $100, because you might only have a top speed of 21 miles an hour, but the way it gets there, the fun you can have on the way, unbelievable. It's got a wheelie bar on the back, which should be a good indication. It's brushless, 35 amp ESC on it, CVD metal drive shafts all round, bearings all round on the thing, and you can see that wheelie bar clearly there. Okay, so whilst it may be at number 1, which is the slowest of our cars at 21 miles an hour, I still rate this as one of the best RC cars out there under $100 because it is an absolute blast to drive. But there is 4 other cars faster to come in this video, the next one of which is the Q901, also from Vanguard. I will put a link to all of these cars below the video. Again, looks similar, 52 kilometers an hour top speed on there, but more in that in a minute, because whilst the car under the skin appears to be the same, is there a difference in gearing? I am not quite sure on that. Now, whilst this appears to be the same as the Q902 under the skin, it does handle quite differently because of the body style. Although the wheels look pretty similar in size, gearing on it would appear to be slightly different, as the fact is I got this one up to 24 miles an hour, completely ready to run, and yours for under $100 from Vanguard. I'll put a link to that one as well below the video. Anyway, on to number 3, which is where things really start to liven up. And that is with the diminutive Redcat Piranha 2-wheel drive electric truggy 1/10, completely ready to run, battery and charger included with it. This thing punches way above its weight. The only thing being, you can't go in your local Redcat dealer like JG Customs and buy this. You can only buy this car online. What is there to like about it? It's got oil-filled, big bore shocks, waterproof 2-in-1 ESC and receiver, 7.2 volt nickel metal hydride battery, 2000 milliamps no less included with it. So Just how fast does this thing go? Because it punches just about as high as a Traxxas does, at costing $300. And I did mention Traxxas cars in the same sentence, as Traxxas cars have an average of about 30 miles an hour out of the box. So how close is this thing to that? Well, the answer is it simply flies along pretty close to that 30 mile an hour mark. But how close? Well, let's pull it in and see on the GPS just what we've got. And we've got 28 miles an hour top speed for under $100. Just remember, guys, if you like what you see today, don't forget to subscribe. And at number 4 on the list of the top 5 fastest RC cars under $100, here's where it gets fairly serious, fairly fast. It's the Doyle Toys, a 959B. Note, you can buy a 959, but the one you want for the serious fun is the 959B, because there is a huge difference between the two. This is a 4-wheel drive buggy. They quote 70 kilometers an hour, but more on that top speed in just a second on it. This is what I would class in Richie language as an absolute pocket rocket. This thing flies along. Looks minuscule in size, but as you might notice from that picture there, you have got a full-size 540 can motor in the car. Now bear in mind, it's got a 540 can motor in the car, but it's 1/18 scale on there. It accelerates just like a scalded cat. More fun, as you use that Richie phrase, and you could shake a stick at. It's got a combined ESC and receiver. We've got metal capped shock absorbers on here. A lot of plastic in the car, but it is pretty durable nonetheless. And certainly, for its size, punches way above its weight. How much far above its weight? Well, a Traxxas car at like $300 might achieve 28, 30 miles an hour, 32 miles an hour on a good day on there with the optional gearing fitted. For yours for $89.60 on here, what does this thing achieve? Well, for its size, what we get is something that just punches way above its weight. The thing, it accelerates like an absolute rocket on here, and well on the way to a top speed of 36 miles per hour. For less than $100. Now, I sold my A959B on, but I have to say it's one of those things that I kind of regretted, because I did wonder just how fast I would be able to convert this thing to go. But 36 miles an hour straight out of the box with the stock battery on is not bad at all. Completely ready to run, charge up battery included, but it's that 540 motor full size on there that does the damage in terms of the speed, which a Traxxas or Armour costing $300 for that matter could only dream about hitting. 36 miles an hour for something this small, you'd be very hard pushed to beat it. Link to it below the video. So, what's a number 5? Well, it can only be one, and that would be the simply unbeatable WL Toys 144001. 1/14 scale, 60 kilometers an hour. Oh, I don't quite think so, because it goes faster than that. Well, it's $97.64. It varies up and down. This car Banggood will quite regularly put on special offer for around about $75 or even $69 on here. You'll know I've highlighted the USA shipping center on here. Ships with you in like 2 to 8 business days. Delivery $2.99. Just ridiculous amount of car for the money. As we'll go on to in a minute, it is not necessarily the best off-road car, although it looks like a buggy. It's got suspension on there. Its forte is fast road work, blacktop or hard pack gravel on there. But best of all, it comes with a metal chassis for this price point. That's crazy. Oh, and also notice we've got metal shock towers on it, both front and rear, and the huge 540 can motor, which means you can upgrade this thing very, very easily. You can slip like a Banggood brushless system in here for about 20-30 bucks on it, and the thing will be nudging on 100 miles an hour with a little bit of work, which is why so many of us love this car so much. Absolutely outstanding. So just how fast is it straight out the box? Well, on 2S it's an absolute flyer, but just how quick is it on 2S? And then we're going to move straight on to 3S, because that speed will absolutely shock you. Well, on 2S we have 30 miles an hour straight out the box. But wait for it, because on 3S, the thing is like an absolute missile. In fact, I'm struggling to slow the thing down. So, just how quick was it on 3S? Let's take a look and see. 40 miles an hour on 3S. Faster than the quoted stock speed of the car. So with the top speed of 40 miles an hour, you can see when it comes to the top 5 fastest RC cars under $100, this thing wins by a mile. Well, about 4 miles to be precise, over the A959B. Nonetheless, the handling on this thing is sublime. You throw $20–30 at this thing, got it on brushless, you will be up into the 60 mile an hour mark without any worry at all. Guys like Mr. Mad 2424 and RC Master have pushed this thing up towards the triple digits, which is just crazy for a car at this price point, which is why you have to love it so much. Somebody from WL Toys absolutely nailed it, so bag yourselves a bargain and grab one of these today from Banggood. Link to it below the video. So there we have it. At number 1, it is the ubiquitous WL Toys 144001. 40 miles an hour, straight out of the box on 3S. That is just ridiculous pace. You could buy a $300 Traxxas, a $300 Armour, and not get close to the speed that that thing does. They're into the 30 mile an hour game, this thing's into 40 miles an hour. I will say it is quite road focused. Don't expect this to be going and doing big jumps, big air. It's not a basher by any means. Although it is a buggy with suspension on there, it is more suited to fast road use, hard pack, dirt, etc. on there. Just thought I would point that out in case you're going to buy one, because without a lot of work on the car, it ain't going to end well. But it's very, very easy to get this thing going super fast as well, as Mr. Mad 2424 and the RC Master have proved. More to the point, I believe this is the fastest RC car out there for under $100. If you think so, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching and stay safe. Well, there we have it. At position number 5, it is the WL Toys 144001, capable of 40 miles an hour on 3S straight out the box. Bear in mind, a $300 Armour or Traxxas car will only do about 30 miles an hour. So for less than $100, you're going 10 miles an hour faster. However, this may be a buggy, but it is very much road focused. Don't buy this expecting it to be a great basher going over big jumps and things, because it will not put up with an awful lot of abuse. It handles very, very well at speed on blacktop, tarmac, etc. and hard packed gravel, but it's not going to be a big basher, big over jumps, etc. on there. Just to warn you on that. Whereas something like the Q902 is going to handle quite a bit of backyard bashing with ease. This car has been the result of like a mini speed war between some of those guys on there, in particular between Mr. Mad 2424, who's running this thing at stupid speeds with the stock body in place, and also the RC Master, who has run this again into like triple digits on there, albeit with quite a lot of work to the car. Now, somebody said he's run it over 100 miles an hour with the stock body, but he had both the batteries sitting on the outside on there. So I'm not going to get into the debate on that as to who is the fastest out there, but at the end of the day, it's an absolutely cracking car, and certainly what I think is the fastest RC car under $100. If you like this video, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe. All comments most welcome. Stay safe. Well, thumbs up if you like this video, guys. Post any comments you might have in the comment section below the video, and hit the circle below to subscribe. And if you do hit the circle, don't forget to hit the bell.